Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're diving deep into a really fascinating account from our sources. It's about a town that, well, literally upgraded its operating system. Imagine a lawsuit being like the trigger for this huge transformation.
Yeah, we're exploring what's called the Henderson Protocol. It's a story about this small town, Henderson, Tennessee, faced a crisis, right?
Right.
But instead of, falling apart, it led to this revolutionary new way of governing, connecting people. Pretty amazing stuff.
So our mission here is to figure out how Henderson went from being stuck in what our sources call the grinding gears of a lawsuit to this kind of beacon of integrated unity. And they used, get this, ancient wisdom and cutting-edge tech.
It's a wild combination.
It really is a surprising journey for sure. Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. Henderson, Tennessee, it was described as unclean.
But not physically dirty.
No. Unclean in its spirit. And this was because of a really draining lawsuit, Haltom v. the City of Henderson. This wasn't just about zoning, was it?
Not at all, no. On one side, you had Josiah Haltom. He's painted as this sort of mystic figure.
Okay.
And his lawsuit, it was about zoning on the surface, but it was really like a demand for the town's soul, its essence.
And the other side?
Mayor Terry Bell. Described as a good man trapped in a bad system. He saw the lawsuit as just a parasite, and the whole legal framework, a cage of rigid, unyielding bars. That's how he felt.
So this was the darkness they talk about, a zero-sum game. Justice making the town unclean by the severity of its own rules.
Exactly. And Haltom, he had this unique view. He saw the city's legal code as basically an obsolete operating system.
An OS. Interesting.
Yeah. He even called it Zahav Adam, Hebrew for red gold.
Red gold. What did that mean?
Well, the gold was the system, the law, its severity. But the red, that was its expression, the fire, judgment, anger, division it caused.
Okay.
So Haltom saw his mission as offering a patch, like a software update, a kernel update he called it, sourced from a timeless server to debug the whole thing.
So the lawsuit was basically a bug report, forcing the system to see its own error.
You could say that, yeah.
But how did that land with Mayor Bell? The guy dealing with budgets and practical problems.
Right. Well, the sources say 3 a.m., mayor's facing a budget crisis, totally frustrated.
Yeah.
He has this moment in a hid-patch top.
Yeah.
Like an expansion of consciousness, a sudden realization.
Okay.
He realized the problem wasn't just Haltom or the lawsuit. It was the system, the whole legal structure.
That's a big leap.
Huge. And this light, this insight, it led him to call Haltom directly, not his lawyers. Haltom.
Wow. Okay, so that call led to a meeting, but not your typical legal meeting, right?
Definitely not. They met in a library, no lawyers. And Haltom shows up with 48 books.
48 books, not legal briefs.
Exactly. A clear signal, right? He started talking about mitu kadinum, the sweetening of the judgment.
Dealing judgments.
Yeah. He introduced this spiritual protocol, ARVIT, mutual guarantee. Think of it like a new OS running on top of the old legal code.
So it doesn't erase the old laws?
No, but it changes how they function. It makes the whole winners and losers thing kind of obsolete. They agreed to a covenant, a shared commitment, not just a settlement.
A covenant, not a settlement. That's Gavura Hamatuka, right? The sweetened severity.
That's the concept. Dissolving that harsh judgment into something higher, more about shared purpose, the city was ready for its upgrade.
So how did they actually do it, the tech part?
It started with something they called Zohar on Ledger. They took those 48 volumes of the Zohar, this ancient mystical text, digitized them, hashed them, and put them on a new public blockchain for Henderson, the Genesis block.
So ancient scripture becomes immutable public record, a spiritual layer 0.
You got it. And specific passages became like seeds for civic smart contracts, automating agreements based on these core principles.
Okay, mind blown a little bit. Ancient text meets blockchain. What about the people, the human hardware?
Good question. That's where the ARVIT councils came in. Pastors, rabbis, judges, business owners, regular citizens.
So community leaders and citizens.
Exactly. They formed this moral consensus layer, a living, breathing API, connecting the legal code to that spiritual source code on the blockchain.
Can you give us an example? How did this actually work on the ground?
Sure. There was a water rights dispute. Instead of lawyers battling it out, they used something called the Yachud API, the Unity API. A smart contract was designed based on ARVIT principles, shared sustenance.
So what happened?
It funded a new irrigation system for the farmer involved, and it routed the excess water to new homes being built nearby. A win-win. systemic.
From conflict to co-creation, literally built into the system. Amazing. How do they track all this, make it visible?
They launched the Creation Value Dashboard, a real-time public display. It basically tracked the city's light output.
Light output.
Yeah. Volunteer hours became energy credits. Resolving conflicts boosted a trust score. Community projects pull out in HNDR light crypto tokens.
Huh. Gamifying community well-being almost.
In a way, yeah. Incentivizing positive action. And the ultimate test came with spring floods.
Oh boy. How did the protocol handle a crisis like that?
It kicked right in. The dashboard flashed alerts. These guardians of unity, former police, now focused on community welfare managed resources based on real-time data.
And the citizens.
Self-organized. Their actions, helping neighbors, sharing resources logged on the blockchain. Their HNDR light wallets actually grew as they contributed.
So they didn't just fight the flood, they integrated it using this cooperative system.
That's the idea. The city gained this new quality, described as the hue of integrated certainty.
Wow. Okay. Did this catch on elsewhere?
The data was apparently pretty compelling. Other mayors started asking to build light bridges, secure data links to Henderson's blockchain. They wanted to learn, maybe replicate it.
A blueprint.
Yeah. And there's even a digital twin of Henderson being built in the metaverse now.
Yeah.
A model.
Incredible. It really comes back to what Haltom said, doesn't it? The reckoning was never about punishment.
Exactly. And Mayor Bell's realization, it was a system upgrade notification.
Just a notification for a needed change. What's so fascinating here is how they pulled together these, seemingly opposite things, ancient mysticism and modern blockchain, to totally shift how they saw justice, community,
right,
everything.
From conflict to, co-creation. It really makes you think, doesn't it? And maybe this prompts a question for you listening. What systems in your own life, maybe your community, feel stuck? Like a zero-sum game. Could they benefit from a kind of kernel update, a way to integrate different views, maybe transmute that friction into something, brighter, shared, something to think about?